In February 2026, the Middle East erupted, shutting down the Strait of Hormuz and paralyzing the world's most sensitive routes for maritime trade. The immediate result was a supply shock. Global Brent crude oil prices spiked past $100 a barrel, threatening the world with energy shortages and double-digit inflation. While energy markets spiraled, a second front opened. The United States launched its Liberation Day policy, using massive universal tariffs as a bargaining weapon to force trade partners into compliance. Governments across the globe faced a binary choice: align with a superpower, absorb the economic blowback, or face total isolation. This dual-front crisis broke the existing global order, but the resulting chaos created a specific opening that only one economy was positioned to use. As the world panicked, India chose a different path. New Delhi did not join the conflict, and it refused to pick a side in the escalating trade war. Instead of losing access to markets, India used its neutrality to secure discounted energy and sign landmark trade agreements that were decades in the making. India's survival relied on a calculated ledger of transactional moves. They managed to win a global economic war without firing a shot. The first move addressed the energy math. With the Strait of Hormuz closed, global Brent crude was trading at a massive premium, climbing toward $97 a barrel. India's solution was to bypass the Western financial system entirely. They leveraged a long-term strategic partnership to tap into sanctioned Russian oil while the rest of the world was cut off. This chart shows the direct result of that diplomacy. While the global benchmark sat at $96.80, India secured Russian Urals for just $81.20. That $15 difference acted as a massive subsidy for the entire Indian economy. To pay for it, they used the rupee Vostro system. This is a local currency settlement framework that allows India to pay for oil in rupees rather than US dollars, shielding the trade from Western sanctions. India was using the same energy as its competitors, but it was paying a completely different price through a private financial network. While other powers were focused on military containment and inflation, India went on a diplomatic offensive to secure its industrial future. In January 2026, India finalized a free trade agreement with the European Union, resolving nearly 2 decades of intermittent negotiations. The scale of this deal is staggering. It creates a unified trade zone with a combined market of $24 trillion, eliminating tariffs on over 99% of India's export value to Europe. India then took that momentum to Washington. By negotiating a separate trade pact, they convinced the U.S. to reduce its 26% Liberation Day tariffs down to 18%, stabilizing trade with its largest partner. India treated the global conflict as a window of opportunity, locking in preferential access to the world's 2 largest consumer markets. But the final move was about physical geography. Even with the deals in place, the world's main energy gate, the Strait of Hormuz, remained frozen. India's loophole was the Chabahar port in Iran, a facility they had been developing for years as a strategic alternative. This map illustrates the bypass. By using Chabahar, Indian cargo avoids the Strait of Hormuz and bypasses Pakistan entirely, creating a direct land bridge into Central Asia and Russia. By maintaining a multi-aligned foreign policy, India created a unique diplomatic corridor. While Western-insured tankers avoid the Persian Gulf due to soaring war risk costs, India's cargo continues to move, supported by its own non-Western insurance and recognized by its regional partners. While the superpowers struggled to fix a broken supply chain, India simply utilized a new one. 36 days into the conflict, the final scorecard of the crisis became clear. The Western ledger shows hundreds of billions in losses, shattered supply chains, and domestic energy shortages. Conversely, India recorded secured oil discounts, landmark trade deals, and exclusive passage rights, stabilizing ties with Washington by balancing Russian imports with American energy purchases. India achieved a state of geopolitical arbitrage, converting a global blockade into national profit. This wasn't a spontaneous miracle. It was the result of a deliberate strategy known as hedging. India spent a decade building the exact infrastructure needed for this moment, opening the rupee Vostro accounts, constructing the Chabahar port, and finalizing EU negotiations. The global crisis of 2026 was the ultimate stress test for a contingency plan that had been in development for over 10 years. India didn't just survive the war, they successfully navigated the plan they had already written. Was India's success the result of a deliberate, long-term strategy or a stroke of incredible luck? Let me know your answer using just one word in the comments.